Governments from around the world will come together at the UN Biodiversity Conference, COP15, to agree on a new set of goals to guide global action through 2030 to halt and reverse nature loss. Now, adoption of a bold global biodiversity framework that addresses the key drivers of nature loss is needed to secure our own health and the well-being alongside that of the planet. Now, someone who will be attending the conference is maritime lawyer and ocean economy activist Osiphesona Ngcanga, who joins us now from East London. Thanks so much indeed for joining us. Good to talk to you. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Nora. It's a pleasure and honor.
Fantastic. All right, tell us a little bit about this convention, this COP15. What is it? What is it trying to do?
Thank you for that. Well, the Convention for Biological Diversity is it's an intergovernmental treaty that was signed in 1991 in the UN. So basically, it's focusing on the longevity and the management of biodiversity, and actually sustainable use and proper benefit sharing. So it's overarching sort of it's overarching. It's called the COP. The name of the name COP is Convention of the Party. So now the name COP15 comes from where they've met 14 times before, and now it's the 15th time. So they basically focus on environmental issues and things like climate change, things that people are not aware of. A lot of people are not aware of. So basically, they drive that, and the main goal is the global biodiversity, the post-2020 global biodiversity framework. So that basically looks like at a global framework whereby 196 member states can be able to implement it in order to decrease the loss, in order to decrease the loss of biodiversity at a global stage.
So take us through some of the contentious issues that need to be dealt with, and what might be South Africa's stance on some of these issues?
Thanks for that. Well, there's something called the 30 by 30, whereby the main goal is to preserve 30% of biodiversity by 2030. Now, if you want to preserve 30% of biodiversity by 2030, you need resources in order for that implementation. Now, for first world countries, they can be able to implement for their sufficient resources. But then now you're looking at third world countries, developing countries. Now, it's easy to put that on paper, but then with our overall circumstances of developing countries, it's very hard to implement it without the sufficient resources. So now, what is our response in South Africa? Our response is that we agree to the 30 by 30, preserving 30%, making protected areas in order to the long-term sustainability of biodiversity. But then now we need sufficient resources from developing countries in order to be able to implement these goals. So our stance as South Africa needs sufficient resources in order to implement the post-2020 global biodiversity framework.
All right, so tell us about young people like you. We're seeing you on the front lines of activism. Why should young people be paying attention? And what are you expecting as a young person arriving at COP15?
Thank you so much for that. Well, one of the realizations that I came to, since I run an NGO in the oceans, okay, a lot of young people are oblivious to environmental issues, and they do not know the long-term effects of it and issues like climate change. So our organization focuses on actually educating youth and actually creating them with opportunities in the maritime industry. So basically, they're not aware of the blue economy and the lucrative opportunities that are developed. So basically, we focus on actually conscientizing the youth about marine living resources, longevity, sustainability, the sustainable development goals, living in harmony with nature. It's also part of government's national development, the NDP national development plan. So basically, we aim at conscientizing them and teaching them about biodiversity and the importance thereof.
All right, I want to take it back home now And, you know, we've been fishing along our coastlines for centuries. What has changed over time, and what should we be cognizant of in terms of biodiversity? I mean, you know, we've been one with nature for centuries, but it seems as if things have changed and we almost have to re-educate ourselves. What are some of the issues that are at play, particularly along our coastlines, when we talk about the ocean's economy?
Yes. One of the issues is that people are not aware of the opportunities that are ocean. So you'll find that in our coastal areas, that there's certain areas that are declared protected areas, but then the indigenous people have been fishing here for centuries. So you'll find that now they all of a sudden, with some of them are illiterate, now they think they have to have a permit. They told that they have to have an ID. And they give them all of these conditions in order for them to fish. And then they say that these are our national, these are our natural resources. Therefore, we have the right to fish. Our ancestors have been fishing in this area. So now to declare that a protected area sometimes is advantageous to them. So the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework also touches on those issues. It's called benefit sharing, ensuring that we all share equitably to the natural resources. So those are one of the contentious issues that we're going to be discussing next week in Montreal, Canada. And we were sponsored generous sponsorship by Expertise Funds, which is a company that is subsidized by the European Union. So they basically have been funding the youth intervention within the Global Biodiversity Framework. So they've done a massive job. They've supplied all 9 provinces with a workshop, including the Youth Biodiversity Framework. So we're saying to them that we thank you for your contribution. Now, like for the post-2020 Biodiversity Framework, we'd love to have more resources in order to implement the 30 by 30, protecting the 30% of our nation by 2030.
All right, so that's the coastline, but inland, and this is a major part of the continent. I mean, one of the beautiful things about Johannesburg that I love is that when you fly over, you see the sea of green because there's a lot of trees, and it's not something that you see in a lot of cities. Tell me about man and our building of concrete jungles, or progress, we call it, inverted commas, and what effect that's having on biodiversity, and why it's important for us as we progress to think about who we share the planet with.
Yes, thank you for that. Well, you'll find that the reason why it's protected areas, because in South Africa we have the Protected Areas Act, and we have the marine protected areas as well. So we have the protected areas on land and marine protected areas in the ocean. So now, protected areas are there so as to preserve biodiversity within those areas. So you will find that there are endangered species. You'll find that it's on the red list, which means that it's an endangered species. So you find that in a protected area is stringent rules whereby you cannot go into this particular area because there is false resources for biodiversity. So basically, part of the plan that we'll be discussing in policy changes in Canada next is basically the issue that you've just touched on. With our protected areas, we have to increase our protected areas in order to ensure that there's no buildings being built on those areas, because we find that now the biodiversity has to migrate from that particular area. So it actually puts an imbalance also within the ecosystem, and then you see some animals being extinct. So we really have to be careful if we want future generations to be able to explore these the animals and the beautiful nature that Africa has to offer to us.
Well, Osiphesona, thanks so much indeed for joining us. We wish you the best at COP15 in Montreal in Canada. And maybe we can talk to you again at the conference just to get a sense of what's going on. But thanks so much for giving us a preview. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Warren. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, I like that, Mr. Ndoro. All right, we'll leave that there for the time being. That's a young maritime lawyer and ocean economy activist, Osiphesona Ngcanga, who's off to Montreal for a very important COP15 Biodiversity Conference under the United Nations. A very important gathering and something that we need to pay attention more and more to.